back with a new video. Today's video is going to be all about how I stock my 2000 litre aquarium. I'll go through all the fish. I'll start from the smallest fish first, work on my way down to the biggest fish, and just basically tell you a little bit of background about all the fish I've kept. So the smallest fish I've got in there at the moment, which I inherited from my little brother, is a yo-yo loach, funny enough. He's in there somewhere just underneath that wood probably. He rarely comes out a lot, so I'll try and get a good video of him in a minute, but he rarely comes out a lot. He's probably about 3 or 4 years old now. So he had him in a tank with discus about 4 years ago, and I inherited him about a year ago. So I banged him straight in the tank. He didn't get eaten, he was completely fine. So he's been in there the whole time and he's been absolutely fine. So I'm leaving him in there, I'm not taking him out. So on to the second fish, blue acara. I've got a blue acara in here. He's actually a really big blue acara. There he is there, so you'll see him in a minute. I'll do a separate video on the sort of side here. I'll zoom into the fish so you can see what I'm talking about. So blue acara, I've had him about 2 years now. He was that sort of size when I got him. He's probably, I don't know, he's over 6 inches easy. He's quite a big fish, so yeah, it's a lovely colour fish. Yeah, I've had him about 2 years. But yeah, he's a great fish. A lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't be keeping a blue acara in the tank full of fish like this, but he's doing alright. He's never been picked at. He sort of holds his own, so I'm not going to take him out. So that's the second fish. Let's go on to the third fish, third smallest fish I've got in here. Silver dollars. I think I've got 7 or 8 silver dollars in here. I've got 3, I think they're called tiger silver dollars, red tiger hooked silver dollars, something like that they're called. And I've got 4 or 5 normal silver dollars. So there's about 8 in there altogether, 7 or 8. So yeah, there's quite a few of them there. They sort of pick at the bottom. They take all the stuff at the bottom. They're good fish to keep. They keep the Arowanas occupied as well from each other. So if you've ever got Arowanas in the tank, they tend to sort of fight sometimes, and the silver dollars sort of take their mind off it. So they're really good fish to keep, silver dollars. Right, next fish, clown lunches. I've got 6 big clown lunches in here. I don't know if you can see that one there. There's a clown lunch just there. There's quite a few at the bottom there. They like to hide about. They come out every now and then. They eat courgette, things like that. I've had these clown lunches here. I've had 4 of them in here. I think I've had them about 10 years now, something like that. So they were that sort of size when I first got them, and now they're that sort of size. So they're big old fish. They take a while to grow, but they're great fish to keep. And then I bought 2 other ones about a year ago from a shop. One of them's got a bit of a cloudy eye, which was in the shop, but doesn't really bother me. The fish is completely fine. He's there actually, the big one with the cloudy eye. So he must have been kept in like a dodgy tank, you know, with not good filtration, not enough water changes and stuff. But he's thriving in my tank. So yeah, that's the clown lunches. Next fish, next smallest fish in it. It's probably the flagtail. I put the flagtail on here last week. So he's at the back there. Stunning colours on him. How long have I had him now? I've had him probably about 6 months now. I've got him in, what are we in now? We're in June. Yeah, I've had him 6 months. I've got him in January. So he's getting quite big. He's probably that sort of big when I first got him. He's got sort of that size now. Quite a sort of slow growing fish I've found, but he was in a 700 litre tank in the fish room. So now he's in this monster tank. He might have a bit of growth, but that's what normally happens to fish anyway. Right, next fish, datnoid. I've got a datnoid in here now, which is under that wood there. So I bought him exactly the same day as the flagtail. I bought it from, no I didn't, tell a lie. I bought it from Wolf Aquatics about over a year ago now. So he was a tiny little fish when I first bought him. Very slow growing, massively slow growing if I'm honest with you, compared to like bass and Oscars and Arowanas. He was that sort of size when I first got him, and he's probably about that sort of size now. So he's holding his own in there. He's under a bit of wood there. But yeah, it's a stunning fish. But you know how big they get. They sort of get this sort of big when they're fully, well, even big. I've seen them on Instagram and YouTube. They're sort of that sort of size. So yeah, I can't wait till he's fully grown. They sort of kind of look like a perch, don't they, when they sort of extend their mouth out. But yeah, great fish to keep. So what are we on to now? Right, onto the bass. I've got 3 different types of bass in here. I've got 2 Tomensis, which are there. I've got a mono bass, and I've got the Orino bass, which is here. So he's got sort of the bluey colour one, the bass here. So he's the first bass I bought. He was actually sold to me as a Tomensis, and I didn't know a lot about bass at the time. It's the first bass I ever bought, and I bought him from a shop in Milton Keynes, Maidenhead, Quags. And the bloke goes, yeah, they're Tomensis, definitely Tomensis. So I took him home. There was actually 2 of them. He goes, one of them was not going to survive because it was so skinny. And I said, well, I'll take him anyway, see what I got on. But that actually died about 2 days after I got him. So I don't think they was very well kept in the shop. But yeah, he's doing great now. He's in there now with all the other bass, doing absolutely fine. So that's my 3 bass. So I've had him, I've probably had the Orino about when did I get him? It's probably about 6 months now. I've had the Temensis, no sorry, the Arowa's probably I've had about near enough 8 or 9 months. The Temensis I've had just over 6 months, and they was probably that small, and now they're like that within 6 months. So they're big old fish, and the same as the mono. I actually bought them the same day, but I bought them from different shops. I bought the mono from Lee Valley Aquatics in Essex, and I bought the Temensis from Wildwoods in Cruise Hill. So yeah, that's the bass. Lovely fish, but them Temensis, they're going to be big old fish when they're fully grown, and eventually I have to get a bigger tank, well, especially with the Arowanas as well. But yeah, definitely have to get a big tank one day. Right, let's get on to the Oscars. So I've got 2 big Oscars in here. They're just red tiger Oscars. I've had them just over 1.5 years now, so they like crazy. They're great fish to keep. I've kept Oscars for years. I used to have an albino Oscar, I had a red Oscar, and I had another tiger Oscar, but they all sadly died from Holland head disease a few years ago. That was about 5 or 6 years ago, but and you know what, it's due to carbon, that's what I think anyway. So I took all the carbon out of my filters. I've done a video on it actually, check that below, check that in my other videos below. So that's all about taking carbon out, and it got rid of the whole head completely. These guys got it as well, and I took the carbon out of the filters and it completely gone. So yeah, Oscars are sort of prone to it, you know. They get massive water changes in this tank, so nothing to do with that, it's just to do with the hole in the head. But yeah, 2 big Oscars in here. You can see that they're near enough, well, they're bigger than my hand, look, this one is. I think they are male and female. They do have a little bit of bicker here and there, but no, they're great fish to keep. So what have I on now? I've done a bass, let's go on to the, so I've got birches as well. I've got 2 birches. Right, I'm going to try and pronounce the name of the birches. They're quite hard to pronounce. It's Polypaterius telgosi and an encheri, I think it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not very good at spelling and writing things down, but that's basically the bass, the birches I've got. I'll do a zoom in on them and show you which ones I've got. So I've got one for Wolf Aquatics, which is the telgosi. He was about that sort of big. Now he's sort of that sort of big, and he's quite thick as well. So he's a nice big fish. Comes up for air and stuff. The smaller ones in there as well. I've had him probably about 4 or 5 months. He's sort of that sort of size now. I bought him when he was that sort of size. But yeah, great fish to keep. First time I've ever kept him when I bought that one. But yeah, I really enjoy keeping him. Let's get on to the plecos. So plecos, I've got a south in here, which is there he is on top of the glass there. I don't know if you can see him on there. He's sort of going around cleaning glass. I've had him, he's the first fish I ever bought, so I've had him over 11 years now, and he's sort of tiny little thing when I first bought him. I remember seeing him in the shop going, oh, he's not going to get that big, and he was that sort of big, and now he's like that, but he's big old chunky fish, you know, and he's lived in like 8 or 9 tanks in his lifetime since I've kept him, so he's been moved from a bigger tank to a bigger tank to a bigger tank. But yeah, he's settled in this 2000 litre tank now, he's happy enough in there. And I've got an L25 Scarlet Pleco, which is under there. I've had him just over 1 year now. He was that sort of size. He was quite big when I first bought him, that sort of size. Now he's probably about that sort of size. Quite slow growing the plecos, but when they grow, they get massive. So you've got to be very careful. I've seen people with common plecos. They sort of buy them this small, and then a couple of years later, they're sort of this size, you know, in 120 litre tanks and things like that. So be careful when you're buying plecos. Right, Arowanas. I'm sure you guys know what Arowanas I've got now. Let's start with the Asian. So I've got the Asian here. I've had him just over 2 years now. So he's about 1.5 foot. Big chunky fish he is. Look, you can see my hand next to him there. Beautiful colours on him. He's a red-tailed golden Arowana he is. So yeah, I've had him about 2 years. So he's about 1.5 foot. But yeah, stunning fish. Eats a hell of a lot of food. You've got to feed him a lot of frozen stuff and bits like that. Like he does like pellet as well. You've got to feed him pellet and bits. So yeah, stunning fish to keep. Very expensive to buy, but definitely worth every penny. I would like to keep a chili red one day. So, but in a sort of a bigger tank, I'll have a few Arowanas in there. But that's something to think about in the future. And onto my biggest fish in the tank, which is my silver Arowana here. I've had him just over 2 years now, and he was that sort of size when I first bought him. And I bought it from a shop, Mainheads in Cruise Hill. And he actually jumped out the tank in the shop a week before I went and bought him. I didn't even know he was in the shop. It's just sort of a spare at the moment thing. Jumped out the tank in the shop, and he had no tail left at the back. It was completely gone. And I thought, oh, I better not buy him. There was 2 of them in there. There's one in the tank there, one in the tank here. And I thought, oh, I better not buy him. He's gonna, like, not last. He's gonna die or whatever. But yeah, just went into the shop, and the bloke said you can have him for sort of 30 quid. So I said, yeah, I'll have him for 30 quid, you know. Took him home. Within a month, his tail completely grew back. So yeah, he's a lovely fish. He's huge now. He's just over 2 foot now. You can see him. He's got a bit of drop eye on his right eye, but it's not stopping him from feeding, and he seems happy enough. So I'm not going to do anything about it. Some people say, yeah, you should do something about it, but I'm not going to do anything about it. You could stress him out even more, and you could actually kill the fish from the stress. So yeah, great fish to keep. You need massive tanks for the silver Arowanas. They get absolutely huge. I've seen in the London aquarium. They were sort of like 4 foot long. They were in a massive tank, big sort of pond tank. They were huge. If you check out my Instagram, there's a photo of me actually standing by the tank on there. You can go and check that out, have a look. So, but yeah, that's about it. I don't think I've got any other sort of fish in there I can show you. But obviously I've got a new couple of bits of wood in here at the moment. I put a bit of wood in there, when was it, Sunday night, when I moved the flagtail and the datnoid. There's a couple of rocks and stuff in there, just to create a couple more hiding places. Because I was a bit worried about the datnoid and stuff getting eaten by the fish, but they've all sort of settled in well. But yeah, apart from that, the tank's doing great. I've just done a water change on it. It's Thursday today, so I've just done. I think I've done 60%. I did earlier, so I've come down about there somewhere. So 60% water change. I cleaned one of the filters out. When was it? Tuesday. So I've done that. I sort of rotate the filters. I write it down here. Write down 5 or 6 weeks when they were last done, and then you know when to change them. But yeah, that's basically the stock of my tank. Hope you like the video. Subscribe and like my channel. We've got 820 subscribers now, so we're near enough at 1,000. Help me get to 1,000. We're nearly there. But yeah, hope you're liking all the videos and stuff I'm posting. I'm going to be posting a video every Friday night now, probably from 4 till about 6ish. So I get home from work about 4ish. So give me a bit of chance to upload it and mess about with it and stuff. So, but yeah, subscribe and like the channel, and thanks for watching.